prospects going into the league. And this was, I even think last year too. He was one of the top prospects. And then they finally called him up and everything. And look what he's doing. A Rosarena as well. Like Franco's going to be killing the Yankees going in the future. So now the Yankees, I have to worry about the Blue Jays, and I got to worry about the Rays. And I always got to worry about the Red Sox, somehow they sneak in. Orioles, I really don't care for. We don't care for the Orioles since the 80s, I guess. But one thing that, shout out to the baseball chat, Eddie, Charlie, Greg, Steph, Deck, all those guys there. We were talking about this whole thing with Clint Frazier, how the Yankees screwed him over in a way. Like, I get it. Clint Frazier's not a great player and stuff like that. But let's not act like he's a young player who the Yankees kept mismanaging, I feel like, because you can't expect him to go off, play like 3 straight games and expect him to put up MVP numbers. And then when he finally is in a groove, you take him out, you put in Brett Gardner in his place, and it's like, okay, Brett Gardner, he's a veteran, let him get his chance. Like, no, you give Clint Frazier the chance to play a full season, especially when we lost Aaron Hicks, and we experimented putting Aaron Judge in center field that time. Giancarlo Stanton with the DH pretty much majority of the season. So if he's not going to play in the outfield, why not put Clint Frazier? I'm not saying Clint Frazier's a great player, but they messed up with him. And then they optioned him after the season was over. And then last week, I believe. And then today they released him. So going forward, I hope he goes to a team that has to play the Yankees multiple times. And I hope he destroys the Yankees every time just because of what they did to him. And I blame the front office for that and Aaron Boone.
So you bring up your Yankees, and now I got to bring up my Mets.
Shout out to Thor.
The goddamn Angels. They took Thor, and they recently just took Aaron Loop, our lefty specialist in the bullpen. I got a couple of things to say about the Thor situation. It's obviously the floor is
yours.
Huh?
The floor is yours.
It's obviously going to be tough for me that we don't have the ability to keep those type of stars, and that's upsetting. 21 mil for 1 year. It's stating that it's a gimme year, right? He has to show a lot to be able to build contracts going forward. But to be able to,
he didn't even give you a chance. He didn't even give you guys a chance to offer him anything.
He did.
He was on a plane.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
We gave him. We did the offering. We did the general offer, right? The arbitration offer of I think it was 17 mil or 16 or 17 mil. We gave it to him. We gave it to Conforto, and they all declined it. But you're right. He didn't give us a chance to get that GM to be able to work out a contract with him. He saw the money and he said, you know what? I'm going to take my chances. It's absolutely fair. And I don't fault him. My problems are more with Steve Cohen and all the talk and chatter he had when he was becoming owner, right? Saying, I'll put any money out there to make sure I have a team and this and that. You have a stud in Thor on the mound.
Coming off a bad injury, too, mind you. Let's not forget
how he pitched. But remember how he pitched, though, when he came back for those 1 or 2 games. He pitched great for 6.5 innings. He gave up 1 home run, but then he pitched great after. Obviously, you're going to have a little rust, but we didn't have any barometer of how he was going to play after Tommy John. The Angels know what they're getting because you put $21 million out there for a guy off Tommy John surgery. You're damn right you know something's up, that you could see it.
Be like the 3rd starter, I believe, or 2nd.
He's going to be up there. And now they're talking about possibly re-signing Steven Metz. That is your go-to? Again, farm guy. I'm not faulting him, but that's what you do. So I got a couple of concerns with it. I got a couple of concerns with where we go with our team, and I want to see where we go from here.
What about Baez? Baez, I mean, there's still talks about Carlos Correa coming to the Mets. I know the Met fans have been chatting about that. Like, what happens if you guys don't re-sign Baez?
What happens if we don't re-sign? What happens if we don't re-sign Baez or get Correa?
And don't get Correa? Like,
what do you do?
What do you do from there?
Do I ask Jose Reyes to come out of retirement? Like,
hey, he's an artist now. He's a reggaeton artist now or something like that.
No, he's not.
I believe so.
I gotta check out his music. You just mind boggled me. No way.
You should bring reggaeton night to Citi Field. Steve Cohen, listen to us. The hottest thing right now. You welcome.
Jose Reyes.
Has Jose Reyes come, pull up, put a little concert or show. Trust me, you gather fans for that. Jose Reyes was a fan favorite of everybody.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I mean, I enjoyed that first game he came back when he played with Miami. 11 zip, and he had 2 home runs. The first hit he did in the game, he led off with a home run to right field, and I was there in left field enjoying the view. Oh, it was beautiful.
Of course,
I love those moments. I love those moments.
Yeah,
I live for those moments, man.
So you're talking about baseball, and we're seeing how there's some stuff coming up soon with the Baseball Hall of Fame, yes. And just want to be able to see where you're standing. This is actually Barry Bonds last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe it's Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, I think Kurt Schilling. Not sure. I know those 3 automatically. This is their final year. And to me, like Greg and multiple people have said, which I do agree on, if you had Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame, who was the commissioner at the time when steroids and all this stuff was happening, why aren't you allowing these guys? And people would be like, oh, they cheated, whatever. Like, oh, Sammy Sosa too. He was the other one. I say this. I know for a fact, even though we may not have evidence, but definitely guaranteed, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, players were cheating, especially in the MLB. Let's be frank here. So I feel like they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, especially Barry Bonds. I don't care if he admitted, whatever. It's getting to the point where it's like, it already happened. The MLB made their money. So if you're making that money and stuff like that off of these players, and they're the ones that put seats in the filled those seats up every single game when they played. I mean, you have documentaries of it. You have when Barry Bonds broke Mark McGwire's record, single season home run record with 73 home runs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Then he breaks the all-time hit home run record, Hank Aaron's record. Then he's still a coach. He's a hitting coach, I believe, for the Marlins. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's on one team, help, coaching or whatever, assistant coach.
Yeah, I think he's an assistant coach of some
But
kind.
you have these guys in here. They already paid their dues and stuff like that. With, it's tarnished and stuff like that. I get it, but let's not act like they didn't make a big impact in the game. So I as a fan of baseball and being around when those guys were young and playing and balling out, and the excitement I've had watching them on Sunday Night Baseball, I still remember the home run race. Shout out to ESPN for the home run race documentary that they did with Sammy Sosa and McGwire. I thought it was great because it brought back memories like me and my father were talking about it. And I was just like, it's insane how I was young at the time and I witnessed this. I witnessed history. And the same thing for Barry Bonds. I have his old card, Bobby Bonds card, when he was on the Pirates. I had his 1987 San Francisco Giants baseball card, which I still have. I say put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't care. You could put whatever they deserve it based on what they have done for the game. Regardless if they stole, if they cheated, whatever. Everybody cheated. And it gets to the point to me, you got to put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame as well. There's no reason Bud Selig should be in the Hall of Fame if these guys can't get in. Let's not forget that.
You're right. And the Astros names on, attached to their championship with what possibly was going on, right? With the cheating scandal. That I'm just saying their names are going to stay on there, right? Their names are staying with that championship. So with that being said, they're technically in the Hall of Fame, or they're they're enshrined for cheating per se. These other players, they paid their dues. If they were so bad, if they were caught cheating and it was so bad, why were they allowed to continue playing? Right? If this was known and this was brought out there. But I want to bring to your attention, so the names of the players that are in their last year of eligibility are Kurt Schilling, Sammy Sosa, Roger Clemens, and Barry Bonds.
So I was right. Okay.
You were right. I think out of those four, for me, Barry Bonds and Kurt Schilling should make it.
No Sammy Sosa?
No. Because
it's hard with the court bat.
Because Sammy Sosa had two, crazy years of at bats, but he was more.
He still hit over 600 home runs though.
Understandable.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it was.
That's hard. That's hard to hit over 600 home runs.
But he was also the type of person. It was a home run or a strikeout. Right, he was always going for the fence.
Yeah, but he helped that Cubs team go to the playoffs and be relevant.
No, he did. Don't correct me. Listen, his defense would be the reason why I put him in over his offense. His defense, because of the way he played the outfield. He had a gun of an arm, and the way he would dive, and play the outfield, the speed he had. I looked at it more for that.
Right? He was all right. He was a right fielder. He wasn't that speedy.
But
he was only fast when he held the American flag on 9/11 when he was running onto the field and brought everybody to arms. He was a good dude, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still a legend in DR. Like, regardless of all the stuff that went down with him, which it kind of hurt a bit because it's like, damn, I was in DR at the time when they had that home run race between him and McGuire that season.
Oh, that must have been great to watch.
Let me tell you, at the stores, the restaurants, the airport, everywhere I went, all you saw was Sammy Sosa everywhere. And every little chance you got, small TVs, the handheld TVs back in the day, like, they had them out and everybody was watching the game. Like, literally, you have like 40 people outside of a grocery store looking at the TV when he's playing. Like, of the impact. But I feel like all four are going. Honestly, all four go in. I believe that's just me.
Right. So if all four go in, right, then we have newcomers, and let's see who the newcomers are. We got Tim Lincecum, Justin Morneau, Joe Nathan, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Mark Teixeira, Ryan Howard, Carl Crawford, and Prince Fielder. Out of those names that I just named, do you think any of them are a first-year ballot Hall of Famer?
Oof, that's tough. I mean,
it is
top of that. I would say Ortiz, but then people are gonna bring up the cheating. He was cheating or whatever. But let's not.
Oh, and then also, I'm sorry, Jake Peavy and AJ Przinsky as well.
Przinsky was longevity, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Lincecum, I will say you put him in maybe his second year. I don't believe first ballot. Oof. I mean, A-Royd, as much as I hate him, he was still a great player. He was still one of the.
He might.
He was. I believe he was top 5 literally almost every year. At some point in his career. People may not agree with me. I mean, as much as I hate him, I still think he might get in first year. But obviously, with the whole steroid thing, and then his falling out with the Yankees, pretty much how the Yankees screwed him, I believe they probably won't get him in first year. Same thing with Ortiz. Again, it's hard because of the controversy. Now, A-Rod and David Ortiz, it all rides on if the 4 guys previously that we've named actually get in their final year. That's the thing. So it depends on them. If they get in, and Ortiz
There's less spots.
And A-Roy don't get in this year,
They definitely.
then I see them either next year or the year after. At the end of the day, Lincecum, I say his numbers may not be as great, but the man in the postseason has performed, especially in the World Series. But let's not forget he was still part of that Giants team that won 3 rings in a span of 5 years, I believe, 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all those other players, 4 or 3 and 5 years, something like that. Lincecum, I see getting it. Maybe not the first year, but again, it's going to be tough with that list. It's hard for the first year.
So I will tell you, one of the best things that I love is, and I think now because of how many years we've watched sports and we're getting up there in age, but to be able to actually see these type of players' names and go, crap, I used to watch them, right? I remember these kids coming up. I remember Lincecum coming up into the league, right? I remember Billy Wagner running out for the New York Mets as our closer. Justin Morneau hitting, a game-winning hit in the playoffs for the Twins.
He did steal an MVP from Jeter, though.
He did. You're right.
I gotta say that. Shout out to the baseball chat.
I mean, if I had to go with any of these first year ballots, I would probably go 2. And that would be Justin Morneau and Joe Nathan. Joe Nathan as a closer was lights out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those 2 have a good possibility. Will they? I don't know. Because then remember, you have also those middle ground guys of a Bobby Abreu, and Andrew Jones, a Manny Ramirez, that could still kind of get in now. Andy Pettit, Billy Wagner, as I named before, Torrey Hunter. Some of these guys, I feel like some of these guys are fan favorites, and yes, they have certain numbers, but I don't know if they have the full numbers to be able to get in.
True.
I think it's like a
Jimmy Rollins, I see getting in his second year.
Okay.
Ryan Howard, he may sneak in a couple years.
Prince Fielder, I don't see going. I don't see
Prince. I see Prince going before Ryan Howard. The only thing Howard has over him is a championship, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Fielder had more injuries, I'm guessing. I'm just going off the top of my head, like if he had more injuries or something like that. But still, when Prince Fielder was on the field, let's not forget what he did with the Brewers, especially when they had CeCe, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. When CeCe was on the Brewers and he was there as well, yes. And then he went to the Rangers after, it was tough for Fielder. He had a tough season. He had a tough career, but when he was on, he was on. He was exciting to watch, honestly. He's actually I actually enjoyed watching him play.
Who, Prince?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember seeing his father play.
Oh,
Cecil Fielder. And the funny thing is they're the only father and son duo to ever get an inside the park home run. And my favorite, it's messed up, but one of my favorite moments is ESPN when Prince Fielder hit his second inside the park home run. They actually had the video overlay and they timed it. And like the first one, when he ran and crossed home plate, he could not stop. Like he literally ran straight to the dugout. And like the guys all try to grab him, like, yo, chill, relax. And the second one, he was able to calm down a bit. It was pretty funny. But he was exciting to watch. I say maybe he sneaks in possibly his last year, the last chance for eligibility. But,
so I got to tell you, who we bring up Cecil Fielder as like that DH first baseman. You know who my favorite was to watch? And I'm a kind of a homer because he was on the Mets, Mo Vaughn.
Oh God!
You remember Mo Vaughn? Oh my God, that man was built like a football player playing baseball.
That man was a lineman and a half.
Oh my God, he was huge. No, Mo, but he was.
Pause.
Now, come on, man. No, he was.
You fell for it, bro.
No, but seriously, when we bring up Cecil Fielder, I think of Mo Vaughn at the same time, just because like he was built like a lineman. It was crazy. So, all right. So we listen, we realize right now that we have some first ballot Hall of Famers that could possibly go in. We got those middle ground guys. I'm hoping Manny Ramirez makes it in. I think Manny deserves it.
Manny gets in, Washington Heights is gonna be lit.
I'll be there partying with you.
Stop it. This guy lived in the Heights one time, had a cuchi frito, and that was it. And like, stop it, Mike. Stop it.
Cuatro años.
I'm gonna go take you to Dykeman. We're gonna get sandwiches.
Take me to Dykeman. I can hold my own. But
I don't know, man.
With that being said, I hope you're right. I hope all four make it in, just because they did have stellar careers, especially coming up. You know, you can't discredit A-Rod when he was on Seattle, right? You can't.
It's A-Royd, not A-Rod. A-Royd.
You can't discredit A-Rod for what he did on Seattle.
Oh, you asshole.
Huh?
You're an asshole now. Yeah. You're just gonna. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just jump right over. So you can't discredit what Roger Clemens did in Houston, right? And I'm talking about beginning of their careers, where they cemented themselves as
when he did very well with the Red Sox. Let's not forget that. When he won with the Blue Jays, he won the Cy Young. I believe he won like 2 or 3 with the Blue Jays.
With the Blue Jays, I think it was 2. Someone fact check us on that. I think it was 2.
He literally won the Cy Young for every single kid he has, pretty much.
Well, yeah,
he won rings with the Yankees. He helped he helped the Yankees win. You know he did. He was a great pitcher. I can say that regardless of what's been going on. But still, I hope all 4 of them get it. Honestly, especially Barry Bonds.
Okay, so we're getting towards the end of the show. I do want to talk a little hockey, and I want.
What's been going on? Are we like on a 5-game win streak or something?
We are.
Oh,
that is the New York Rangers.
Oh, hold on. Before we talk, happy belated birthday, Mike Sparacino.
Yes. Happy birthday to Jesus himself, because he does look like Jesus half the time, but he is a huge Ranger fan. I have to tell you, if you want to know Rangers hockey, past, present, and even future,
we're gonna have to bring him back on. We're gonna have to bring him back on one of these days, because the Rangers are looking lovely. I haven't had a chance to watch as much, but I will, and I definitely need to go to a game.
We do.
We need to hit up a Ranger game.
I will tell you though, the last game got me a little shaky, right? Because they gave up 4 goals, right? So it was like, and then all of a sudden it was 4-4, right? And then they won with 0.6 seconds left. Like it was at the last second, and of course, me being the typical Ranger fan,
you was all over the place,
and I'm like, all right. I'm gonna go get my drink, because I know I got a couple of minutes before we go into overtime. And then I'm like, he scores! I'm like, what? Yo, I thought I won the Stanley Cup. Like it was just but that's the exciting attribute you have right now with the Rangers. Like the excited feeling of being a fan of the Rangers, and I'm gonna ride it as long as I can, you know.
Hey, by all means, bro. Pause again.
At least, yeah. Damn, man. Oh, man. Dude. Yo, we could do more bloopers than anything else with today's show.
Oh, man. It's great. Insane. I love it.
Insane. But Igor Shesterkin has been great behind the, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say behind the pipes, but pause. I'm going to say in net for the Rangers. He's been doing his thing, so shout out to the Rangers. Keep it going. Shout out to Ryan Reeves, not stepping down to anybody. He's showing that we need that bruiser, and he
give it a mono.
His first fight, he clocked him and just kept clocking him. The guy got up and didn't even realize who hit him. It was great. It was great. So keep it going, Rangers. Who's your hands of the week this week, Manny?
The Raiders, Derek Carr and his stupid haircut, and the entire Raiders team. Y'all playing like shit. You're pissing me off more, and it's like I'm gonna have to look up flights, because it's getting to the point. Only way you can make it up is if you got to beat the Cowboys this Thursday. That's the only way I'm gonna be happy, and you can redeem yourselves a bit. I need this win against the Cowboys, especially Reynold and Peter, because they over there talking. They're talking this smack. I know how they are. They looking forward to Thursday, and we'll discuss that on Thursday when everybody's up on there. Shout out to the maestro setting that up.
Absolutely.
And I believe we have a special guest on Thursday.
We might. A special guest, part of the fan zone. Yes.
Yeah, but he is a Ranger fan. Might I add?
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Who are we talking about?
You will
We'll
have
talk
to find
offline.
out on
We'll talk offline.
you will have to find out on Thursday.
So with that, yes. Oh, yes, we do have.
Who are your hands of the week?
My hands of the week goes to the wrestling fan from Monday Night Raw yesterday that went and tackled Seth Rollins.
That was textbook. That was lovely. That
Did
was
you
great.
see it? Did you see
Yeah,
it? Bro,
I saw the replay.
he straight lined up. Yo, it was like a cheetah coming out of nowhere and just took him out. But
That was
the
a
hands of the
textbook
week,
tackle.
it was a textbook tackle. But my hands of the week for him goes out to the fact that he was catfished. Apparently, this is the story, that he was catfished by a fake Seth Rollins account that said that this was all a ploy, that he wanted him to get involved and do this stuff. And supposedly he was doing it for the bloodline, which is
Lift your hat.
Reigns.
Lift your hat and put it back down. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell he gonna get catfished by a fake. That's cap, bro. I'm sorry.
So no, but he said he was doing it for the bloodline, for the wrestling storylines, this and that. Apparently, he was told to do it. So you get my hands of the week, because are you that dumb? How special are you that you think you're gonna get Seth Rollins and all these other stars, messaging you on Instagram going, I know you could be the next best thing for wrestling. Come on in. Come on, man.
And this is why AEW's better.
Seth Rollins? Well, yeah, because if it was AEW, you would have had someone like Dean Ambrose stepping up to him and punching him in the face while security was holding him, or like Triple H did in the past. But Seth Rollins is yelling at him, yeah, is that all you got? Well, apparently it's all he's got, because now he has 4 guys holding him down while you're just standing in front of him. So, I mean, I give hands to the week to the whole situation, but mostly to that fan for what he did. Manny, what do we got lined up for next week?
Oh, man. So for the fans, wanted to surprise y'all on Tuesday, but we're going to let
we
y'all
will.
know.
We will. No, you don't have to say that.
Oh, so we are. Okay. So
yeah, we are. We are.
Find out on Tuesday our new location. We will be at a site together at a new site. It's gonna be pretty funny. It might be a little bit wild. Not like what is it, Side Talk NYC? Shout out to them, even though they're all biased Knicks fans. I don't care.
So I think next week, and what we're gonna try to start doing, and we might not do it next week just because we have a loaded show for next week. But I think what we're gonna start doing, and something that we need to start looking into, is I want to start doing a rivalry segment each week. And what I want to do is I want to go by sport, right? And I want to see what we can do. And this is talking to the fans. If you think you want to come on the show and talk about the biggest rivalry of your team, hit us up, reach out to us, and we will get a fan of that team. So you can talk about why you both think your rivalries to each other. And we'll also debate on here.
Just to let you guys know, to everybody that's viewing, we greatly appreciate you watching, and watching all the other shows as well. But one thing I can say about the fan zone, it's for you guys. By all means, type in the comments, give your spiel. We'll talk. We'll have a full blown conversation with you on the chat, on the live, if anything. I know Mike's looking at the chat. Does anybody want to say something? Obviously, going forward with the rivalry, I like that. I like that segment. You can talk about we can even talk about our experience at a rivalry game, whether in whatever sport. Like, I know into a bunch of Yankee Red Sox games, and I kind of missed the old stadium because that was like the Coliseum for me.
Oh, I bet. But I will say this. I will say this also, that, as Manny alluded to, we will even invite you on the show, on the spot. You have something you want to say, you want to talk about it, we will invite you on. I will let the landlord give you the key, and we will let you in, because here everything it's no holds barred, because we know how passionate fans are, no matter the sport, no matter the team. I have to say, as we're going into the Thanksgiving holiday, I am thankful to have the platform to be able to work alongside mini hands, Manos Manny, to be able to work alongside him to talk sports with you. Whether we agree or disagree, we have the opportunity to give you our perspective. But if it wasn't for you, the fans, we wouldn't have this platform today. So
Yes,
I am
sir.
thankful for being able to talk sports and being able to have my rants and to hopefully get through to some of you fans on what it means to be a passionate fan.
And you got to be thankful for the Maestro for setting us up, Mr.
I
Carl
am always
Lunch.
thankful. I am always thankful for the Maestro, because if it wasn't for the sports hit list, none of us would be able to know each other the way we know each other today, especially
Facts.
when we have these debates. If it wasn't for the Maestro and if it wasn't for the brand, nobody would be able to have the debates we have and to be able to make a mission of being able to explore the systematic racism and the political issues that occur in sports. So I appreciate you, Maestro. I am thankful for you and the work you have done, and I know it's only the beginning. But Manny, I'm grateful and thankful for you, and I can't wait for next week for our live.
Well, hold on. No,
show.
this Thursday we will be there. We will
We'll be
on
together on Thursday. We
on
are going to
Thursday
be
for the
together. We have a
things for the
special.
Thanksgiving special.
That's right. So the sports hit list, all the brands will be coming together to chomp it up for an hour and a half as we show our appreciation and how thankful we are for sports, but also give our takes on the Thanksgiving game.
I'm gonna be thankful for giving everybody their hands for the BS they're gonna speak on, especially against my Raiders.
Your
No matter
hands
how
aren't
much-
that big. Stop telling everybody you're gonna give them the
Yeah,
hands.
okay. It may not look like it, but trust me, up close and personal. All right, I got my step
Beard
ladder
is
with me
bigger than
too.
your hands.
I got my step. I got my step ladder too. I know where you live, Mike. Don't worry about it. I'll pull up. But don't forget tomorrow's show at 4:00, live show with the Maestro. I believe he has a couple guests tomorrow. Thursday we have Thanksgiving special with all the shows, Smoke and Mirrors, Fan Zone, the live show, and the football team on Sundays. They're gonna be in on Thursday talking about the games. And don't forget on Friday, Smoke and Mirrors.
Shout
The
out
second
to
time
them.
this
They're doing
week.
some good
Shout out
things.
to them. They're doing really good things at 4:30, I believe. And I know Deb's show is coming back on Thursdays. Maybe not this week, I believe in the near future. But my show will let you guys know. So once again, thank you everybody. And for those, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy it with your loved ones and be safe. Much
And
love.
always know that Manny is always wrong about his views.
Yeah, right.
And we apologize for any technical difficulties anybody had watching us on Facebook Live. We will try to put the video up for all of you as we were still going live on Twitter and YouTube. But we appreciate you sticking with us and we appreciate you understanding. And as always,
blame Mike for that.
Damn, I had something good too, and you just killed it. You just killed it.
That's
Anyway,
what I'm about,
as
brother.
always, we are the Fan Zone. Have a good night.